The Plot Against America, the David Simon, Ed Burns directed new show on HBO miniseries,
Yep.
detailing the book by Philip Roth, who wrote this back in 2004, detailing if an alternate history, basically, where Charles Lindbergh beats FDR for FDR's, I believe it would have been his fourth at the time election as president.
1940.
Yeah, it would have been his fourth. Or third?
Third
No,
term,
it would
I
have been
think.
fourth.
Right?
He died in 45, so for 44.
Yeah, wasn't he just reelected when he died?
Oh, potentially. So yeah, maybe it was third.
Yeah, this is his third term, I think. Yeah, either way. 1940, Lindbergh beats him as a Republican candidate who's open about some things.
Xenophobia, fascism, basically blaming anti-Semitism. So it follows a Jewish family in Newark, New Jersey, as this all is going on, and details, I think, their experience. The main lead in this, or the big name, you would say, is Winona Ryder, but it seems like there's a lot of lesser known actors that are going to be getting a lot of shine. How did you feel about the premiere, which aired last Monday?
Really enjoyed it. I thought it was incredibly effective. I have read actually half of this book. I didn't finish it. It was assigned to me in school, and my dumbass didn't actually finish it. So I was actually aware of this story going in. And when I heard that Simon was adapting it when they last year, he basically finished The Deuce and went right into this, which love the work ethic. I was excited about that. And I think this premiere, it's 6 episode miniseries, so it's not really a pilot, but it's kind of effective at communicating to the viewer exactly what this show is about, how prescient it is to current times, and also exactly where it's going. And at times it is freaking dreadful to watch. And I just I assume that that's going to continue, because it's not fun what happens in this, It's
No.
But and then when you think about how the parallels to current times, it makes you feel worse. But yeah, like Simon once again commenting on institutional decay, this time with an adaptation of an alternate history set in 1940. The guy rules.
Yeah, and this is such a classic Simon.
Yeah.
First episode, and I believe there's only 6, so things are gonna get moving pretty quickly here. But it feels like he just takes a lot of time to really give you a sense of place in this world, and you get to know the community setting, specifically like this neighborhood they live in, this Jewish community. You get to know this Jewish family and like the details and the inner workings and drama. And he does it in such slight ways, like is it Eli, who's his nephew, who's fucking up or whatever, and he goes to talk to the gas station attendant or the mechanic who he stole from, and he's like, I'm the uncle and his parents died, so I got to do something like it. But like those little lines give you such insight into that person without having to harp and, do a whole flashback to Eli with his parents and how they died. Like you just get it. Like this kid's troubled. Uncle's trying to like help him, but really sees him as a fuck up and doesn't know what to do. So like you kind of already know like where that's going. And that storyline is established. You see Winona Ryder trying to develop a relationship and how much she's focusing on getting a man and always falling for the wrong guy, and how this one guy treats her like crap, and she's kind of like, okay, this is the way things are going to be. Like, it's just over for me, and now I have to like take care of mom. Like you see where all these dynamics are set up, and it might not be the most exciting episode of television that you're going to watch, but it really is the master class in just storytelling and setting up a series or this season for everything to come. So I was really impressed by it in the typical Simon way. I didn't think there was anything that blew me away, but just a lot of like, this is excellent TV making and storytelling.
Right. And in the typical Simon way, he usually likes to use frequent collaborators for his talent. Zoe Kazan, of course, was in The Deuce a little bit, and Winona Ryder was in Show Me a Hero, and we know David Krumholtz, also from The Deuce, is coming up soon. And John Turturro, who we saw just a little bit of. He's a rabbi who I believe becomes the token Jew for Lindbergh in the story to come, I believe is where that's going to go. And, I actually really like Morgan Spector, who I was not familiar with. He's plays Okazan's husband, obviously the uncle, and really strong presence. And you can tell that his belief in American virtues and values will certainly be tested as I can imagine the emboldening of the Germans down the block probably is not going to go well from what Lindbergh's saying.
I can imagine.
Again, you can see where it's going, and you can heck, it's funny. There are lines that immediately brought me back to current times, yet nothing ever felt forced or heavy-handed, because at the end of the day, you know it's an adaptation. And there are lots of scenes and even lines that are really just taken right from the Philip Roth book. And again, that book was written in 2004. So, and any charges of this being, I think heavy-handed are just kind of foolish. It just happens to be a connection you can make. And in this case, the quote that stood out to me when they're hanging out outside, ranting about Lindbergh's speech in the pilot for the first episode, that quote of someone's like, well, people think he doesn't mean what he says. Everyone's going to say that. It's like, wow, heard that before. Interesting. Yeah. Also, shout out the whole the neighborhood vibe of the 40s. Yeah. Man. Everyone hangs outside on the porch talking and smoking and drinking.
You listen to your radio.
Generation.
Yeah. Listen to your radio, go outside and talk about it. I also thought, and this is such a little touch, but the conversation between the uncle and the son about who was pitching for the Yankees that day or whatever,
right? Yeah,
felt so natural and forced and and not forced at all. I mean, so I was just really well done writing, storytelling, acting. Mm-hmm. It's what you come to expect from Simon. So,
did you recognize the youngest son, who that actor was?
No,
I didn't recognize him. But I recognize his name in the opening credits. That's how I know it's Ajay Robertson. He played the little kid in Marriage Story.
Oh,
yeah,
that's funny. Hopefully he'll be less annoying than in Marriage Story.
Yeah, so. We'll see. I don't know. It feels like he might be
he's
affected by the upcoming trauma. We'll see.
Any last thoughts on The Plot Against America, Dave?
David Simon Show. It's good.
Surprise.